All right, and it's time, and we already have Ashish, Dr. Satish, Shivu, VM Mohan. I think Satish, Shiva, and Mohan were already here. How are you guys doing? Type in hi in the chat box if you're able to hear me and if you're able to see me. And we are already broadcasting live inside the Facebook group. Hi, Shiva. Nice to see you here. Hi, Ashish. Good to have you back. Oh, we have Preeti joining in. We have Volga back. Right. Awesome. All right. So looks like you're able to hear me and you are able to see me. So what I'm going to do is without further ado, I am going to share my screen and we get started. Are you guys ready? Type in ready in the chat box if you're ready. Yep. Awesome. All right. So let's just do a quick recap. And I'm just going to talk about the mastery principles of exercise and not, more. So we already looked at yesterday as exercise is a tool to improve your overall health. The purpose of exercise is not to burn calories. Yes, it does help you burn calories, but you don't have to kind of, use exercise as that tool. So that's number one. Second thing is, if your purpose or goal is to reshape your body, is to lose weight, exercise is not the best option, right? You got to combine exercise with solid nutrition plan, and food and nutrition is all we're going to talk today. So having said that, certain mastery principles to consider for exercise. Number one, choose the activity that you enjoy doing, which means do what you love and love what you do, right? It could be walk, jog, run, cycle, swim, yoga, dance, all of these things. And let me get a little more into this is, when you actually start doing what you love over a period of time, the options that you love and options that you enjoy doing would increase. Now, how does that work? Let me give you a simple example. A lot of people like running, and when I say running, which means long distance running, they do marathons and all these things. A lot of people like cycling, they do a lot of cycling. But here is the thing, when they actually start running a little more seriously, they become more consistent. They figure out that only running can actually be injurious to the health. And if they want to improve their running performance, if they want to improve their overall strength and joints, and also build strength so that they can run better, they actually start adding strength training routine to their running routines that they have, which means they really do not start with strength training. Probably that's not the thing that they really enjoy doing, but they start doing strength training because it helps them do what they want to do better, which is running. So this is how your horizons expand over a period of time. Is it making sense? Type in ms in the chat below if this is making sense to you. Yeah. And I would like to see some comments here, so I know you're listening, you're not sleepy. All right. And that tells me that live is better than recorded videos. Makes sense, Eskeja, awesome. Shiva, Ashish, awesome. Thank you so much. The second thing that you need to keep in mind about the exercise is the intensity. Okay. Think about what is minimum effective dose, or what is the intensity that you can really bear and enjoy. Think about going back home with energy left in you, rather than thinking about you have to completely take all the energy, put it in the sets that you want to do, and that's going to create more pain, more lack of energy, lethargy during the day. So choose the intensity that you can bear, maybe slightly go one step lesser than what you can do. And third is, choose the amount of time that you can invest consistently. And it could be as small as 5 minutes, because as I said, over a period of time, it would increase and you will be able to do more. And the fourth thing to keep in mind is, do not ignore NEAT. What is NEAT? Which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which means all the activities that you do in your day-to-day life, which is probably walking, taking stairs, doing household work, all of that thing matters, and it matters really in a very big way. So don't depend only on exercise for physical activity. Are we clear? Right? Did anybody implement anything from yesterday's learning today? If at all you did, I would want to give you a minute to tell me, what you did implement today from what you learned yesterday. Did anybody implement something? You can unmute yourself and tell me. You can type it in the chat box. If you're shy, you don't want to come on audio or video, that's fine too. You implemented something, Volga. What did you do? Yeah, less exercise is what Ashish did. Awesome. How did that feel, Ashish? If you actually reduce your exercise, how did that feel for you? I had walked less number of steps. Okay. So both of you reduced the amount of exercise that you did, reduced walking time. Like Ashish also did that. Now, what result did you get out of it? How did that feel when you actually reduced it? How did you, enjoy doing it? No problem. Okay. All right. So we talked about exercise plus nutrition is the key, but you may be doing nutrition wrong. Now, let me ask you this. Has anybody tried any kind of diet, keto, intermittent fasting, or meal plans? If you've tried any of these, type in the comment whatever you have tried. What is keto? Was it IF? Was it meal plan? I felt much better than previous days, says Volga. Awesome. Have you ever tried taking a diet chart, some kind of diet, GM diet, water diet, whatever diet that you've tried, even if that's crazy? And I've tried, some of it, so I can tell you that it is crazy. Yes, have tried, but you don't have to do it. Do you have to do it anymore, Preeti? The earlier ones, yeah, right? Yeah, Preeti doesn't have to do it. Okay. Anybody else? Has anybody else tried any diets? Because if you tell me what you have tried, I can, put the right context around it and I can help you better today. Right? So if you have tried any kind of diet, Punit is here. Punit says keto. Okay, awesome. Who else? Intermittent fasting. Okay. Who else? What else? Come on. If you haven't tried anything, which means, you haven't really figured out what to do. And how did that work for you, Puneet? Were you able to stick to it? Yeah. I have eat less quantity meal, felt better for 40 days. Okay, 40 days is work. Diets don't work. Keto. Okay, awesome. Great. So let's talk about diets and nutrition today. Okay. So why are you not able to stick to crazy diets and strict meal plans, and what to do instead? So that's what we're going to cover today. Reduce 6 kgs, but you don't like it. Okay. Fasting. Okay. Who else? Ashish says fasting. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about this. These are the three common, big things that people try, which doesn't work. And most of the time people fail sticking to this. Okay. Now, when I say this doesn't work, this is what you need to understand. If you started doing it, and if you're able to continue to do it for about a year, 2 year, and you're continuously doing it, then it works. But if you did that, you lost weight, but you stopped doing it. You did intermittent fasting for 60 days, 90 days, whatever days, you stopped it. then it doesn't work. If you started keto, but you stopped it, then it doesn't work. If you started meal plans and dropped, then it doesn't work. So that's the thing. When you say it works, you should be able to stick to it, right? So if you're sticking to it, then it works. Something that you made a lifestyle. We're talking about healthy lifestyle challenge. So were you able to make it a lifestyle? That's the question. And here is the thing. Like, let's talk about intermittent fasting and why this doesn't work. Yeah, Nikhil says trying intermittent fasting these days not working. It doesn't work, Nikhil. You know it better. So yeah, let's talk about this. What is intermittent fasting? Okay, so let me explain this to you, why it works, what it is, and why it doesn't work, right? So intermittent fasting works on time restriction, which means you get some 6 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours window in which you need to eat. Now, here is the thing. More often or not, that window is 10 a.m. in the morning to 6 p.m. in the evening, right? The 8 hours generally. Now, this could change based on, anybody and their schedule, but between, 10 in the morning to 6 in the evening. Now, here is what happens, right? When you do that, what happens is all your late night snacks, anything that you're having early morning, it actually gives you early dinner. You finish early dinner because you are still working around that. You don't have time for dinner. You actually end up eating poorly or end up eating less because all your snacks, late night binges are completely out of picture. Has anybody experienced that? Right? Because everything that you do after 6 p.m. is out of picture. When you can't eat anything out of, after 6 p.m. until 10 a.m. in the morning, that reduces the amount of food that you eat. Sorry to break the bad news to you, but it's not magic. It's purely calorie restriction, which means you end up eating less by putting an external force, which is not to eat outside this window. Now, it doesn't work. And I know a lot of people have not lost weight with intermittent fasting because in this, what do you say, hurry and in this, scarcity of food, they actually end up eating more during the 8 hour window. Now, if you eat the same amount of food that you were eating earlier, but you just reduce the number of hours in which you eat that, I'm sorry, it does not work. You will not lose weight. Okay. Or if you eat more, then you may gain weight. I have had people who have gained weight using intermittent fasting. So, in essence, all intermittent fasting does is it makes you eat less. And there is one more problem with intermittent fasting, right? It doesn't help your social life. What if you're working in a shift? What if you're traveling? What if there are celebrations? All of these, right? What if there is a later shift? What if the work goes beyond 6 p.m, so you can't come back home and finish your dinner before 7 if you're doing 12 p.m to 8 p.m or 11 a.m to 7 p.m, whatever that your timings are. Making sense? If you have to go out on a party, if there is Diwali, Dashera, New Year, today is Karnataka Rajotsava. So in Karnataka, there is holiday and festival. You can't do any of these and your social life is completely out of picture. Now, here is what it is. You can do it for 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, but you can't do it all your life. Do you guys agree? Type in agree if you agree that you cannot take your social life completely off the picture, because I cannot, and I know most of my clients can't, right? Absolutely. Now, even if somebody like a sage, as Nikhil, Preeti, Eskeja all say agree, right? It's like a sage, you say, oh, I'll give up on everything. That's fine. Okay. Now, here is another problem. It does not change the nutritional value of the food. So, which means if you're still eating too many carbs, if you're still eating too much of processed food, if you're still eating, junk, you continue to eat that junk. So it actually does not help you build strength and vitality. So your nutritional intake hasn't changed. That's another problem, because IF doesn't tell you what to eat. It just says stick to time. It's very simple. People think that it's magic and they do it. And that's why most people cannot sustain it for a long time. And just to give you an example, biggest thing, Dr. John Berardi, founder of Precision Nutrition. There is nobody else who is more respected in this field than anybody else than him. He stopped doing intermittent fasting, right? And that guy is a PhD and he is a founder of Precision Nutrition. Precision Nutrition has coached lakhs of clients. Precision Nutrition has coached and trained more than 50,000 coaches. And the founder of that, stopped doing it because it was not sustainable. Is it making sense? Type in MS in the chat box below if this is making sense to you. So let me also have a look at who we have. We have Ashish, we have Dr. Satish, Nikhil, Preeti, Puneet, Eskeja, Saurabh, Shiva, Sunandaji, VM Mohan, and Volga. All right, awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for typing in. Making sense. Thank you. Now, let's talk about a distant cousin, okay, which is keto. Now, let me tell you one more thing. Both intermittent fasting and keto are very similar in nature when it comes to science, because both of them put your body into ketosis. Now, that's the only thing they do. Otherwise, it could be really dangerous. Now, keto or low carb, high fat, high protein is even more dangerous. Why? Because the way it works is when you're on low carb, or let's talk about how it works, right? The way it works is when you're on low carb, most of the junk food that you normally eat is completely out of the equation. Okay. There is almost no normal food that you can eat. No fruits, no grains, no rice, roti, no bread, no pizza, no pasta, nothing. No pulses. So no chana, no rajma, no lentils, even in certain versions. No sugar, no milk. So tea, coffee, everything is purely black thing. And this means no normal eating, no normal snacking is available. So what do? You end up eating less. And when you end up eating less, what happens? You lose weight, right? This is how keto works. Again, it's not magic. Another thing why it works is high fat and high protein increases your satiety. It gives you better satisfaction. So when you're satisfied more, you find it easy to eat less. Is this clear? Type in clear if this is clear. Why keto works, what is keto? Because this is very important for you to know and learn. Awesome. Thank you, Volga, Shiva, Preeti. Okay. Let's talk about what is the problem. Problem number one, carb is a preferred fuel for our brain and for our body. If you are into keto or when you try keto, your brain function and efficiency gets impacted. If you're an IT professional, like we have Shiva here, I know him. We have Dr. Nikhil Khattar over here, who is again, a doctor. So using brain, IT professional, using brain, like Preeti, she makes movies, right? All of these stuff. Sunandaji runs an awesome, college. So most of the work that we are doing here is using our brain. Puneet is a CA, is an entrepreneur. So most of the work is here. And when you get into the keto, your thinking becomes slow, your brain becomes foggy, and that actually drops your productivity levels down. If you've ever tried keto, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and that happens, right? That's one problem. Second, high protein can be dangerous for some people. And we have, urologist over here, Nikhil is here. If you have kidney problems, if you have other metabolic issues, without understanding whether you need so much of protein, if you get into high protein, it could actually create more problems for you. That's the second problem. Third, You can still overeat fat and protein. Just because carbs are completely out of picture does not mean you can't overeat. You can still overeat and you may not lose weight with keto. And just like IF, it's not sustainable in social life. What if you go to somebody else's house for a dinner? What if you go out for a dinner at a hotel? What if there are parties, there are birthdays, there are celebrations, there is travel, all of these? Not sustainable. Is this making sense? Yeah. Is this making sense? Has anybody, I think, Puneet, if you're still here, when you tried keto, did you see how your brain function was impacted when you tried keto? Or has anybody tried keto and realized that, your thinking became really slow? Because I know people have come back. I can't even think about doing keto. I've not done it personally because I think it's absolute waste of time. But I know I have had people who are like, Dhaval, my head is pounding because I'm into a keto cycle right now. Right? I don't like the taste. I hate eating the same thing after some time. Exactly. So there are multiple ways why you can't do that. Now, let's go to something little better compared to keto and this thing, but something which is still not sustainable. Okay, got it. Was during COVID, so not sure of brain usage. Yeah, understand, Puneet. You made a good use of COVID downtime. Yeah, great. So let's talk about this diet charts and meal plans. Now, why do they don't work? Okay, the reason is let's understand where do diet charts and meal plans come from. They come from two different origins. One, they come from athletics and sports. The other, they come from clinical nutrition. Now, when it comes to athletics and sports, diet plans are used to prepare athletes for an event. Now, one, I trained under one of the bodybuilding coaches who was nutrition coach for bodybuilders, and he was competing, so I know how that really works and how we prepare plans for them. I was a weightlifting athlete myself, so I know how we manipulate our diet around our competition time, and how celebrities and athletes and all of them plan their diets. So that's number one. And second, if it comes from clinical nutrition, it comes from dietitians, what we call it as registered dietitians, who actually design a plan to treat a disease. Now here is the thing, in both the case, the purpose is within 30, 60, or 90 days. It is never supposed to be permanent. Making sense? We don't design 1 year meal plan for people, right? Meal plan is always 30 days, 60 days, 90 days max. Nobody gives a meal plan which is a year meal plan, right? So meal plans are always supposed to be short term. That's one reason why they don't work. Number two, what they tell you is eat this exact thing in this exact amount at this exact time. Nothing less, nothing more. Now, just like Puneet said, would you actually feel like eating the same thing at the same time in the same quantity every single day? Is that something what you can do? Number one, practically, just let me know in the chat box so I know. Is that something you can do? Right? No. Second, what if you are sick on that day? What if you were traveling? What if you had an early morning shift? What if you had a late night shift? What if you had a long day at office? What if you ran 10K on that day versus running 2K every day? Will your body's need not be different? And this happens practically all every other day. So as you guys said, no, not possible. So this is how a sample meal plan kind of looks like. You can change the numbers and variables here, but like scrambled eggs and one piece of grain toast with some vegetables, with some grams of chicken, with all of that stuff. But here is the thing. What happens when we get busy? When there is new project, when there are deadlines, when you forgot to carry your box, when you have to travel, when your kids fall sick, when you fall sick, when you didn't have time to prepare this special food, and we just have come through this season of Diwali, Dashera, all this stuff, what happens? How long can you do it? Can somebody really, like, be honest? Can you really do it all your life? Type in yes or no. I know the answer no, because if that was the case, you wouldn't be here, right? Ah, now that is what I said, you know. And most people in our home, in our office, do not eat like this. So you have to prepare special food for yourself. And as a busy professional, you already press for time. And now you have another task, another to-do list to prepare a thing which will overwhelm you, right? And nobody wants it. So here is the thing. We don't eat nutrients. We don't eat like proteins and carbs. What we eat, poha, upma, biryani, veg curry, roti, rice, bread, dal, paratha, sandwich, pizza, pasta, samosa, chaat, ice cream, chocolate, gulab jamun, etc. This is the food that we eat. This is food that we get, right, on daily basis. So would meal plan help if this is how the food is prepared at home, food is available in the office, food is available in the parties, food is available in the hotel? Does meal plan help? Right? Yes or no? No or no? No, right? Thank you so much. Now, the bigger problem that it leads to, and I've seen that really seriously in a lot of people, is it leads to disordered eating, which means long-term restriction and diet plans make you look for cheat days. How many times you have heard this thing called cheat days? Type in me if you have heard cheat days as part of your meal plan. Once in a week, you have cheat days, right? And your Preeti says me. Okay. You've heard of cheat days? Now, let's talk about this, Preeti. When we work together, did we have cheat days? No. Here is the thing. When you say cheat day, who are you cheating? Are you actually cheating the plan which is on the piece of paper on in the Excel sheet? Or are you cheating your own body, which is you, right? Another thing that happens is when you are in that long-term restriction cycle, you restrict on weekdays, you use a lot of willpower, motivation, and avoid eating a lot of things on weekdays, and then you binge on weekends because you feel like, oh, I'm tired, I need some food to really now relax myself. I have earned this by working hard all week. And you actually end up thinking about food. The guilt never goes away, whether you eat like, you know, or you like what you eat, or if you don't like what you eat, food is always on your mind. Has that happened? Is it making sense? Type in MS if this is making sense to you. Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. So things to note. Okay, again, understand, if you do not understand the way brain works, just working on calories and exercise and body, it doesn't work. Brain is wired to treat starvation, energy restriction as a threat, and long-term energy deficit and long-term energy restriction leads to this default mode of survival. Okay, and when you're this survival mode, your body, your brain releases hormones which will store fat, which will make sure that the lesser energy is available for you to live, which means during the day, you actually have very less energy to perform things. And at the same time, your body keeps storing fat. Okay. So this is what happens if you are in a long-term cycle of starvation and you feel like, oh, I'm eating less, but I'm still putting on weight. Yeah, because you have done this starvation and restriction for your body. And second thing that you're now doing is because you feel that, oh, eating less is also, helping me or, making me put on weight. So you try to starve and create more restriction for yourself, which actually aggravates the problem. You lose a lot of bone mass, muscle mass, your body becomes lethargic, your sleep gets impacted, all of these things happen. However, food is also treated as reward. So dopamine spike every time you eat. It is treated as fortune. Khate peete ghar ka hai, right? Whenever somebody is little on healthier side or heavier side, we say that food is fun. We share fun and food with people, and it's part of our celebration. And when you take all these things away, you're creating stress in multiple areas of your life. Is it giving you this aha moment, what this starvation can do? Your social life is impacted, your relationships are impacted, your reproductive system is impacted because of this. For women, menstrual cycle also becomes unregular. All of these things starts because of the long-term starvation and energy restrictions. Are you guys learning something? Type in learning if you're learning something. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. Now, here is the thing. Let me give you some good news. If you want to eat better, you don't have to get weird about eating, right? Weighing and measuring everything that you eat. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is make small changes and improvements to what you already eat and take a small step, and one at a time is the key, right? Let me show you how. Okay, so this is Fit Life Meal Transformation Formula. For some of you already worked with me or are working with me, this would make a lot of sense to you. So somebody who's never worked with me, a lot of you are new faces here. Probably this is a new thing for you. And for others, it is revision, right? So let's look at this. Say this is how you are eating on regular basis. Poha and tea. This is your breakfast. You are in hurry, you are gulping down everything that you eat quickly. You're, while doing it, you're looking at your phone or you're already working, right? We can make this better. So what do? We just add one step to it. Now we add a cup of curd along with your poha and tea. Now what that does is it gives you a little more protein. You don't have to prepare. Now there are tons of options. I'm giving you one example. You don't have to prepare it separately. Either it can be kept in the fridge or you can buy it from outside, which also helps you, take care of your mid-morning hunger pangs. It also makes you feel more satisfied. It actually stabilizes your blood sugar spikes and your insulin response because there is more now protein along with just carbs in your food. And step two, now you've done that, you become comfortable with it. You can move one more step. You're already eating good. You can add some nice sprouted salads and nut with it. And of course, you're still in hurry eating while you're looking at phone or working, but your plate looks damn good. You have much healthier ingredients and options, and you're still eating your favorite poha, right? Now, step number four. Now that you've made your plate really well, you've got enough carbs, protein, vegetables, all nice colors and healthy food. Now you can sit down, eat slowly and mindfully, right? Enjoy the same food that you normally eat. It feels awesome because now you're eating slowly and mindfully. You're actually eating much lesser than earlier. No more bloating, no more acidity. Your mid-morning hunger pangs are gone, and you feel satisfied with less food and for longer time. And surprising thing, it helps you lose weight too. How many of you think this is awesome? Type in awesome in the chat box if this is awesome. This is meal transformation formula for you, right? Type in wow or awesome, right? And I know Preeti knows you can lose weight doing this, right? All right. Now here is the thing. Magic. Yeah, Sunanda. Nikhil knows about it. Sunanda knows about it. Great. Let me give you just, another example. Then my clients are already, live over here. Ambrish. When I worked with Ambrish, he said, I've never been consistent with the workouts and eating habits. I was too tired at the end of the day to get to the gym, forget about working out. And eating healthy did not come naturally to me. And then what he did, we eased him into his workout and he started to eat a balanced diet. What could he get? 6 months, 14.4 kgs of weight loss, 40 centimeters in size. And he says, I am in the best shape of my life. So this is a kind of result that, meal transformation can provide. Now, this was just one meal, okay? If I were to give you 20 Indian meals that you can transform like that, how would that be? Who wants a formula to transform 20 Indian meals just like this? Because I can't do all live over here. So obviously, I have to, give you a resource, right? Okay. All right. Okay. Where is the chat box gone? Okay. Shiva says me. I want says SK Jha. Sunanda ji says that. Okay. Awesome. So, okay. Saurabh says me. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this resource inside a Facebook group. Are you guys inside our Facebook group? Is everybody inside our Facebook group? So I'll just upload that inside the Facebook group. Okay. If you are not, okay, here is a link. Okay. If you're not joined the group, you can join this group. Or you guys have my email address. That's how I've been communicating to you. Just drop me an email and I'll send that guide to you. Clear? Make sense? Yeah. All right. You got it? Okay. Now, if that is clear, I am actually going to show you the real magic. How many of you are ready for real magic? Type in magic if you are ready for real magic. Who is ready for the real magic? Magic. Okay. Awesome. So when it comes to eating healthy, when it comes to losing weight, how many of you think what you eat is important? Type in me. If it is all about eating healthy food, if you think that, type in me. Okay. Ashish, Volga, Shiva, Saurabh. Okay, got it. Now, do you, how many of you think if I just tell you what to eat, you're done? You got everything that you wanted. Type in me. If you think that if I just tell you what to eat, you're done. If you think devil tells me what to eat, I'll eat that and I'm done, I'll achieve my goal. Type in me if you think that's you. Yeah. Nikhil says no. Nikhil has experience. Preeti says no. Okay. So let me introduce you to what I call it as 5-star eating system. Okay. Now, let me, not just to eat, but also how to eat. Yes, absolutely. You picked up something very important. So there are 5 things to consider. Okay. Now, What to eat is just one of that, right? Now, let me ask you this. Whenever you go and decide to eat, do you know why do you eat? How many of you know why do you eat? Not just to eat, but also how to eat. How many of you know why do you eat? It gives good feeling. Who's that? Gets the first prize. It gives good feeling. Shiva, awesome, to get energy. Now, if you look at this answer that Shiva gave, because you're hungry, okay, it gives energy. Is that the only reason we eat? I discovered I eat out of stress. You got that, Nikhil. You know that. How many of you eat because you just looked at something and it was interesting, something that you liked, because somebody gave it to you, because it was somebody's birthday, because it was festival, because it was available to you, because you were stressed, because you were excited? How many of you do that? Excited? Yeah. For having fun with friends, fun with family? Yeah, exactly. So let me introduce you to the 5 star eating system. So look at the logical or the chronological order in which we make eating decisions, right? It is not about meal plans and why, why it really does not work. So the first question you ask yourself, are you hungry? Right? Now, when you ask yourself, are you hungry? Most people who have problem with weight, who have problem with the health, do not eat only when they are hungry. They also eat for different reasons: cravings, temptations, some rules or compulsions, like, oh, it's dinner time, I need to have dinner. I can't skip my meal. Okay, everybody's eating, I will eat. What will people think if I don't eat? Rules, compulsions, stress, or emotions. These are other reasons why we eat. Is it making sense? So the first question, why? Okay, first thing to note and understand, why you are eating. Okay, if you can really identify this actually takes care of 80% of the problem. Okay, now once you've identified that, you got to work around your cravings, temptations, emotional eating, stress eating. You need to identify the triggers and solve them so that you don't end up doing that. So now that you've identified you're hungry, again you make a decision. Do you want to eat? Yes or no, right? You decided to eat. Even if you decided not hungry, but you still want to eat, right? So what's the next step? How you eat. Now, let me ask you and be honest. How many of you are in front of your mobile, TV, laptop, or computer working while you are eating? Be honest, type in me. Or you are in hurry, you gulp down your food within 5 minutes. Yeah. Thank you so much for being honest. This is one thing that you got to change, right? That's awesome, Puneet. You did that. This is one thing you got to change, because what is happening? Let me ask you this. Do you guys, anybody have kids at home, small kids, toddlers, or you have seen toddlers? Maybe your kids have grown up, but have you seen them? Type in yes if you have seen them. Yeah, around. Kids are picky eaters, most of them. And what do we do when they don't eat? What do you see usually moms and dads nowadays around? If you go out in public place, you're eating in a food court or cafeteria, you see when they're feeding their kids. Because they're picky eaters, you want them to finish their food fast. What do? You switch on TV or mobile phone. Yes? This is what we do to kids. Why do we do that? Because now we are distracting them. So they are focused on mobile phone, they are focused on computer screen or TV screen. While they're distracted, they don't know what they're eating, they don't know how much they're eating. So as a mom, dad, parent, you decide how much is right, what is right for them, and you put them in their mouth and do that. Making sense? Is it an bulb on movement? Type in BO if this is bringing bulb on movement to you. This is what we do to kids. Now they're doing same thing to us. In front of laptop, TV, we don't know what we are eating. Even if we are full, doesn't matter. Even if the taste like shit, it doesn't matter. We are distracting ourselves. So we end up, one, eating more. Two, we end up disrupting our brain and body connection to understand when we are really full. That's the problem. So what you got to do? One, you got to slow down and you got to eat mindfully. Why? For multiple reasons. When you eat slowly, the rate at which food and sugar is released in your body is slow. So it helps you sustain a good energy level for a longer time. Number two, your stomach has something called stretch receptor. So while your stomach is stretching, it is slowly identify how much of food is coming in and it sends signal to your brain. Second, your hunger regulating hormone called ghrelin is regulated by the amount of food and the sugar and the food is released in your stomach. So if you release too much, it takes about 20 minutes for hormones to get balanced and tell you are not hungry. But by that time, you would have got two biryanis or 5, 6 chapatis, only to feel little stuffed, little heavy. Now here is a problem. When you continue to do that, it becomes an habit, which means if you don't feel that heavy, you feel like you haven't eaten enough. If you eat normally and enough, you feel like, oh, there is some space in my stomach. So all you got to do is eat slowly and mindfully. Eat while you eat, because we've been taught this. Work while you work, play while you play. So eat while you eat, work while you work, play while you play. Don't mess up and mix these things. Is it clear? So eating slowly and mindfully, work while you work, play while you play. Make it clear. And here is the thing, okay? Like for Preeti and other guys, I know you guys already know it, but anybody who's not worked with me and does not understand the importance of it, people who have coached 3 years back, 4 years back, even today, they swear by this. And it may look like something very simple, but I cannot emphasize anything beyond this, okay? This is the most important thing that you can do. Why? Because you can do it anywhere, anytime, any place. Doesn't matter what food is available. So that's eating slowly and mindfully. Second, you got to eat till you are satisfied or till you are about 80% full. Okay? Not till you are 100%. What that does, it gives you a breather. It helps you, tap into the stored energy in your body, which is fat at a later point when your body needs energy. And it also gives you certain, in simple term, in scientific terms, your glycemic load is low, which means you're not eating too much. You should be able to breathe, take deep breaths comfortably, and move comfortably. So that's point number 3. But you can only identify satisfaction and around 80% fullness if you are slow. Because if you are watching screen, you have no idea what's happening, right? And you end up being 100% full. Is this making sense? Clear? So 3 things which are not even food can change almost everything about your health. Eating mostly because you are hungry, not because you are stressed or emotions or compulsions or rules. Eating, once you decide to eat, eat slowly and mindfully and eat till you are 80% full. Yeah. Now, then, but Dhaval, what to eat, right? If you're doing these 3 things right, you can actually move to understand what to eat. So I'm going to simplify this. And when you download the guide, you will understand how Indian meals can be made. This I'll share one more example here is 5 things in your plate: water, vegetables, proteins, carbs, and fats. Okay. And I'll show you how a meal can look like in a short while. I'll give you a picture, but start here. Make sure that you drink water, have vegetables first, proteins next, carbs and fat last, or desserts last. That's the fourth thing. What to eat is simple. It's not complex. If you download the guide, you will get it. I showed how, poha can be made awesome. You don't need a meal plan. And I have 20 other examples that you can use. So it's there with you. But what to eat is this simple. If this is simple, I'll put it in the Facebook group, Shiva. So all of you, I've put a link to Facebook group, or drop me a email after this. I will give it to you. Okay, you will get the guide, right? Don't worry, I'll share it with everybody. So that's what to eat part. But understand this, the other 3 things are much more important than what to eat. Is it clear? Type in clear if this is clear. Now, the only way you will keep and get the results is if you are consistent. And if you are consistent, you need to plan your meals. What do I mean by plan your meals? You got to have an idea that, okay, tomorrow I'm going to have my lunch in office. Am I going to carry my dabba? If yes, how do I get protein, veggies, carbs, fat, and water? If I'm going to eat outside, what am I going to order? And what restaurant can I go so that I get some protein, veggies, carbs, and fat, and I can balance it? How can I do it within my canteen? So that's planning and preparation in advance. You can't just end up there and wish that you get a balanced meal delivered to you on your plate on its own. Nobody cares. If you don't care, nobody else does. Making sense? So these are 5 things. Okay. If you are able to say, oh, ate when hungry, ate slowly and mindfully, ate till I was 80% full, ate, protein, veggies, carbs, and fat. And this is the meal that I had planned that, okay, I'm going to eat paneer, roti, salad, and buttermilk. Okay. This is how you got to do it. If you got this is 5 stars. Okay, give yourself like star 1, 2, 3, 4 for everything that you do. 5-star rating. So got this. This is your always eat right chart. If you can get this is all eating, right? And this is something that people can testify. I have my clients over here. This is what I coach and teach people to do in my nutrition coaching program, right? Type in 5 stars if you understood 5 stars, because this is very, very important. This is the game changer. Okay. And I can tell you, with all the confidence, no meal plans, no diet chart can actually teach you this, or they don't even teach you this. I know that for a fact. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, Shiva, Preeti. All right. Coming back to the slide, right? Now, the question is, how should plate look like? So what I've done is I've given a very simple, overview of the plate. When you download the guide today, you will have 20 odd options to make your plate like this. But this is what it is. Okay. Veggies, proteins, and carbs. If you look at vegetables, salads and veg curry are your vegetable. Okay. Proteins like dals, pulses, paneer, egg, meat, all of these are your proteins. Okay. Anything like you can have, butter chicken and paneer butter masala, rajma masala, chana masala, boiled egg curry, dal makhni, dal tadka, whatever it is, just some kind of paneer, protein, and, your carbs, which could be bread, which could be rice, which could be roti, which could be fruit. Simple, type in simple. All you have to do is take your plate and divide this like, 33, 33, 33, right? 3 equal parts and put it like this. Simple. Does it feel like a revision, Preeti? Yeah, right. And everybody needs revision, right? I do it too. By the way, for all the guys who don't know, I did my precision nutrition level 2 certification again after 2 years for revision. So this is simple, right? So healthy Indian meals guide, you will get it in the Facebook group, or if you drop me an email, you will get it today, right? So having said that, we are done for the day. We have 4 more minutes. Tell me, what was your biggest learning? Each of you, I would like to know so that I can may help you better. What was the biggest learning of the day for you? Put it in the chat box. You can unmute yourself if you want to and talk about it. You can come on a video. And if you have questions, you can put in your questions as well. Let me wait for the feedback. What was the biggest learning? 5-star healthy plan. Okay, awesome, Ashish. Understand the importance of diet plan. Perfect and simple way to eat, eating habits. Okay, awesome. So what we're going to get into, we're going to dive deeper into habits, into cravings, into stress eating and all of these things on day 4. Okay, so which is on Thursday. So make sure that you are here. That's very, very important. If you have problems like, eating because of temptations, cravings, stress eating, emotional eating, that day is very important for you. And tomorrow, based on science, based on me, tomorrow's topic is going to be the most important thing. Okay. It's about stress, it's about sleep, it's about recovery. Because when that actually goes off, everything goes off. Your nutrition goes off the chart, your exercise goes off the chart if you can't do that. And it is something that, again, nobody talks about it. And that's part of my long-term plans. If people work with me for long, this is something I coach as well. So I'm going to give you all the secrets about that tomorrow. Okay. Shiva says, why we are eating, how should be a plate, mindful eating, 80% filling stomach. Balance of diet, exercise, plan to enjoy fitness. Okay, awesome, Volga. Thank you so much. Facebook connection. Okay. Okay, this is a group, Ashish. You can join this group. I'll upload the guide into this group so you will have it. And if at all you guys don't get it, drop me an email. If you have trouble getting in there, just drop me an email. I'll give it to you. Okay, it's ready. It's available for you to download. You will get it. Now we have 2 more minutes before you go. Any questions? And if you don't have questions, you can say no questions, and that's perfectly fine. But if you have questions, put it in the comment below. No questions, no questions. Wow. Was it so simple that there were no questions? Right? No questions. All right. No questions. We are at the top of the hour. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. You could be doing anything else at 7 p.m. You explained well. Thank you so much. I take it as compliment. So yeah, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you guys paying attention to your health, giving this time for your health and showing up over here live. It makes a lot of sense and shows how much you value your health. So thank you so much for coming in. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thank you. So thank you, Volga, Sunanda ji, Shiva, Saurabh, Preeti, Nikhil, Dr. Satish Mehta, Puneet, Ashish. Awesome. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.